Hello, everybody. My name is Julie. Welcome to Gentle Yoga class through Gilda's Club of Rochester. A couple things to remember in yoga practice is, please do what works for you today and leave the rest behind. You may be feeling differently today than you did yesterday or last week. So honor your body. That's the whole purpose of practicing yoga, right? It's not just about fitness. It's about a connection to your body. So that anything you do, whether it's fitness or functional stuff at home or everyday normal activities, you have a better connection with your body, how it feels, how it works, and what's actually going on with your own body so that you can better, you can treat yourself better, in your everyday life. Yoga to me is very functional. So take your time, make sure that you breathe in the movements, that you take time to notice how you're feeling in each of the positions. So very important. And don't do anything that hurts or feels very uncomfortable, because remember, your healthcare professionals are the most important when it comes to what you should and should not do. So please don't do anything that your healthcare professionals have told you not to do with your body, okay? And if there's movements that don't feel good to you today, then modify them, change them, or do something that you do like. That's fine with me, okay? So we're gonna start seated, and I know for some folks sitting on the floor isn't comfortable. You can definitely use a chair if you'd like. If you are going to sit on the floor or a cushion, you can make it easier by sitting up a little higher. So some people will roll up the back edge of their mat and sit up on that. Some folks will, use a cushion or a pillow or whatever they have, and some folks will sit in a chair. So you have all these options to make yourself comfortable, but most importantly, we want to sit up as tall as we can. So there's a couple ways to accomplish this, whether you're on the floor or in a chair. Lean a little bit forward and pull the flesh of your back end on the right left side out back behind you a bit. Just move the tissue, okay? I know it sounds weird, but just move the tissue, and you'll feel those little sit bones underneath all that tissue. You can feel those little bones, and you want to press down through those bones as you reach up through the top of your ears, okay? I don't always say crown of your head, because a lot of people don't know where the crown of their head is. But if you think of the tops of your ears, that's where the crown of your head is. So lift up through the top of the ears, and that'd be the crown of your head, okay? So whether you're sitting in a chair or sitting on the floor, all right, lift up nice and long. And when you press down through your sit bones and reach up through the tops of your ears, your spine lengthens, and you can feel a little bit more space there between the vertebrae. Your belly and the muscles on the sides of your waist and the muscles on your back are also going to connect inward to support that length of your spine. So you're going to feel like a hug of all these muscles around the torso. And that's beautiful, because when you are seated, you should be activated in the core. You should be activating those muscles. So when you're sitting, you're not slumping, right? So you're going to feel some work, all right? So rest when needed. Let's just take the fingertips here, and we're going to do a little movement today. So move and breathe. So let's start with just the right arm. Inhale up and exhale down. And now the left arm. Inhale up and exhale down. And the right arm, reaching down through the sit bones, up through each arm, exhale. Beautiful, just even breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time each side, inhaling and exhaling and inhaling. So this is an asymmetrical movement, one side and then the other. So now let's move our shoulders. Inhale up, exhale down and back. So now we're moving symmetrically, both sides together, yeah? There's so much to movement and exercise physiology and just physiology in general. And, there's planes of movement, there's how our body moves symmetrically, asymmetrically, back body activation, front or side body activation, lateral, medial, posterior, so many different words used. It's basically front, back, and sides. Inhale up and exhale back. Very nice. Just kind of relax. See if you can get the shoulders to relax a bit. Inhale here, exhale, bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Still sitting up tall. Inhale up, exhale, left ear to left shoulder. You're still pressing through your sit bones and reaching up, right? Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And exhale, go at your own pace. Your breath is your own, so you decide how fast or how slow. Inhale and exhale. And then bring it back up to center, gorgeous. So once again, that was asymmetrical, one side and then the other. So let's open out here Take a nice inhalation and exhale, give yourself a hug. Keep it low. And inhale, open, strong abdominals. Keep the back nice and neutral. And exhale, the other arm on top. Just a few more times, inhaling and exhaling. Symmetrical movement, 2 sides at once. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And maybe one more of these. Inhale and exhale. And release. Beautiful. So, side bends. Inhale the right hand up, walk the left fingertips. And we don't want to hunch over, so keep your heart open as if you're pointing it towards me. And release. Other side, inhaling. And you can hold this for a few breaths if you like. Just keep that heart open. And exhale. And as we do these side bends, we understand the law of rotation. As we side bend to the left, our heart turns to the right. As we side bend over to the right, our heart turns slightly to the left. Yes, there we go. Inhale and exhale. Your spine is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. It's a kinetic chain. The different shapes along the vertebrae, right? The different shapes of the vertebrae and the different parts of the spine. They're differently shaped and designed for different actions. Not all the same. From your lower back, right, to your mid back, to your back of your neck. And back to center. Great job. Awesomely awesome. So now we're going to take both arms up. Inhale. And exhale the hands down to heart center. Inhale. Press down through those sit bones. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Go at your own speed. One more time. Press down as you reach up. And exhale. Okay, so now we're going to add those twists. We're going to move asymmetrically, right? So inhale to lift the rib cage away from the hips, keeping the rib cage lifted. Exhale and turn, keeping nice firm shoulders, nice line from one shoulder joint to the other. Inhale, center, keep that rib cage lifted. And even if you can't lift your arms up, just keep the rib cage lifted. And exhale, keep reaching up through the tops of your ears, pressing down into your sit bones. Inhale. Some people don't want to keep bringing their arms overhead, and that's okay. You can bring your hands to heart center between your twists if you'd rather. That's okay too, right? So it's just up to you. Just want to keep that rib cage lifted, that lifted position. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Let's come back to the center position. Great job. All right. So we're going to do a little bit of a different movement. So I'm going to turn side. Doesn't matter whether you're on the floor or in the chair. So what we're going to do is we're going to press forward. So we're arching the back a bit, pressing forward. And then we're going to round back, tucking the tailbone. Inhale, lift the sternum forward and up. Exhale, bring the heart back, rounding the spine. Good. So think about your heart in your chest. Press it forward, lift it up. So you're activating the muscles of the back body. And then when you draw this way, you're activating some of the muscles on the front of the body, the torso. Inhale, lift. And exhale. So we're thinking about the heart. So now let's think about the hips. So as we bring the chest forward, tilt your hips forward, like you're dumping your belly into your lap. And then when you go back, tuck your tailbone under, tilt the hips back. So tuck and tilt. So tilt to bring the heart up, lifting the tailbone a little bit, and tuck to bring the heart down. So now we're moving from the hips, not just from the chest, from the heart. So we're warming up that spine. These are a version of cat-cow stretches, right? But it's a great thing to understand how your hips work. They tuck and they tilt, right? Awesome. Just one more, and it's okay if these are small. And up. Awesome. So sitting nice and tall, whether you're in the chair or on the floor, we're going to make the circles. Okay, you're going to make circles. Now, you'll notice if you can see the screen with me on it, my spine is long while I'm doing these. Take a look at my spine. It's neutral. It's long. It's not bending like it was a moment ago, right? It's kind of like a mortar and a pestle. It's like a a stiff wooden spoon, right? My son and I had the argument last night, which is the mortar and which is the pestle? Let's go in the other direction. The pestle, I believe, is the bowl and the mortar is the spoon, but I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've had to use them to crush anything. That's what happens when you have food processors and all that kind of stuff. Beautiful. Awesome job. Awesomely, awesomely awesome. Circular, circular, circular. Good. You went one direction, go in the other direction, right? So go back and forth, one direction and then the other. And see if you notice if one direction feels more comfortable than the other. Because you never know, right? You just never know. Everyone's a little different here. It's all good. Woo. All right. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And come on back to center. Awesome. Great job, great job. Okay, hopefully you're feeling good. We've got all the different directional movements of the spine, so hopefully we're feeling really good. So let's open up the chest a bit. So still sitting nice and tall in your chair or on the floor, bring the hands to gold post or cactus position. The most important thing about this is that you make your elbows heavy. Let your elbows be heavy, okay? You don't want to be feeling like this. You want relaxed elbows, right? No big deal. Inhale, widen. So you're widening the front of the chest. Exhale, bring them together, right? So inhale, widen. Now you'll notice that my back stays neutral. I can squeeze my elbows back, but I'm not arching. I'm keeping my back neutral. And on an exhale, squeeze in. Good. So this is just opening up the muscles in the front of the chest, the front of the shoulders, right? Strengthening and opening up the muscles on the back of the shoulders and upper back. These can be really tight. Keep the elbows nice and heavy. Beautiful. Inhale to open, feel the chest stretch in the front of the shoulders. Exhale, bring the elbows together. Great job. Still very firm through the front, back, and sides of your waist because you want to keep a neutral spine here. Really, really important. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Beautiful. And bring it down. Woo. Roll the shoulders a little bit. Okay. So strengthening the back body. So instead of having the arms here, we're going to have them here. So still relax the shoulders down. You have your hands like this, right? Forearms parallel to the ground. Inhale here. Exhale, squeeze back. Stay nice and tall. And release. So you're only going just for the back body. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze. So you're keeping those forearms kind of floating. Forearms and the hands floating. Good. Exhale, squeeze back. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze back. And release. So now what I'm going to ask you to do is squeeze back. And those of you in a chair can reach for your chair. Those of you on the floor, you can put your hands on the floor. Now really roll the shoulders and lift the heart way up. So arch your back, arch your spine. Let your low back pull in towards the inside of your belly. Arch the whole spine. Wherever your heart is pointing, that's where your face looks. So you don't need to drop your head back. Just a little bit. Good. Gorgeous. Inhale here. Exhale, come on back. Good job. Let's inhale here and exhale, twist. Let's take a nice twist here. One hand on your knee, maybe, and the other hand behind you, sitting up nice and tall. And then as you hold this twist, pull the belly button in, lift the rib cage a little bit higher away from your hips, and then go ahead and turn and look over that back shoulder. Nice. Keep your chin parallel to the ground. Nice job, everybody. Just breathe here. Whew, feels good. And then inhale back to center, keeping that rib cage lifted, shoulders relaxed. Exhale to the other side to twist and hold. So you have one leg on your knee or your thigh, and maybe the other hand is behind you, one hand on your thigh, one hand behind you, reaching up tall through the tops of the ears, hugging in through the belly. Keep that rib cage lifting gently and look out over your back shoulder if it feels comfortable, chin parallel to the ground. Great job. Woohoo. And then inhale back to center. Very nice. Okay. So last thing we're going to do here on the floor in this way is to hinge forward and then let the spine round a little bit and bring the hands. If you're in a chair, you would bring your forearms or your hands to your knees. If you're on the floor, you take your fingertips out in front of you and let your spine round. So imagine that you're kind of folding your torso over your legs, right? And it's okay wherever you put your arms. You're going to notice big stretching in the back of your body right above the top of your pants, okay? So be very gentle there. And if you want to take both hands and walk them over to the right side, so that would be over towards your right knee, right, in that direction. You're going to feel some stretching, just a little bit, but nothing too big. The stretching is more, if you walked your hands over to the right side, you're going to feel the stretch in the back of your left rib cage, the left side of your rib cage. That's what you're going to feel. And then inhale back more towards both knees or between your legs if you're on the floor, and then exhale over to the left side. And your spine is a little rounded here, so you're actually going to feel this on the back of the right side of your rib cage. You don't have to drop your chin and tuck it down. Just try and keep your head gently lifted to whatever's comfortable. Ooh, that feels good. Good, 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 good. And then walk the hands back to center. Walk the hands in and then roll the shoulders back and lift your heart to come up nice and tall. Awesomely awesome. So everybody's done a great job with that. We're going to do some cat-cows on all fours, those of us who are on the floor. Those of you who are in a chair, you can sit to the front edge of your chair to do these seated, okay? We did some of this, okay? But we're going to do a little bit more, all right? So those of you on the floor, you come to all fours. So it's just what we did when we were seated. We're just going to do it a little bigger. So those of you in a chair, sit more towards the front of your chair and make these as big as possible. Those of you in a chair, widen your legs apart. So this is easier for you, okay? When you're ready, remember what we did before. Inhale, roll the shoulders, lift the heart, and lift up the tailbone. So you're tilting the pelvis and lifting the heart. Tilting the hips and lifting the heart. Beautiful. Woo. And then an exhale, you're going to pull the belly in, round the back, tuck your pelvis, tuck your tailbone under. So if you're seated, you can make these very big or very small. And then go back and forth. Inhale, lifting the heart, lifting the tailbone. So working from the upper back, upper chest, and the hips. And then on the next exhale, tucking under with the hips and widening the back of the shoulder joints apart. Just do a few more while you breathe. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And come back to all fours. Great job. Great job, great job, great job. Okie dokie. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to get us up to standing today. Okay, those of us on the floor, those of you in a chair, because I think that would be very possible. But we have to lunge first. So inhaling and exhaling, pull the belly button in, those of you on the floor, and step your right foot forward to your right thumb for lunge. Put blocks or whatever you have under your hands. Make sure your front knee and ankle line up. Those of you in a chair, you're just going to turn to the side. One leg forward, one leg back. Hold on to the back of the chair. Okay? All right. So you have options here depending on where you're at. Okay. So those of us on the floor, we want to look more like those of you in the chair. So roll the shoulders back, pull the belly in a bit, and walk your hands up your front leg. Good, 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 good. So those of you in a chair, you're already in this position. Okay? Inhale both arms up if you can, or you can keep one hand on the chair, those of you who have a chair. Beautiful, nice reach. Reach your right arm up a little higher. Then bring it down. Lift the left arm a little higher. Then bring it down. So kind of stretch like you're pulling a rope from the ceiling. Right hand, left hand. Right hand, left hand. Like one goes up and then the other goes down. Right hand, left hand. Awesome. Awesomely awesome. Beautiful, beautiful. So now we're going to add a twist. So those of you in the chair are just going to turn your chest, right? You're going to turn your chest toward the back of your chair. Okay, so those of you in a chair, you're going to turn your chest toward the back of your chair. Those of us on the floor, all right, we're going to turn towards our knee, turn towards the front knee, and then bring that hand to the floor. Okay, so those of you in a chair, you're turning your chest toward the back of the chair. Those of us on the floor, we are twisted towards our bent leg as well. Awesome. Nice. Very, very good. Okay. Those of us on the floor, we can reach our one fingertips up towards the ceiling. Awesome. Just take a breath here. This is just a nice twist. Pull the belly button in. Roll the shoulders back. Everybody, it'll feel better in the twist. Nice. All right. So those of you in the chair are going to come back to the center position. Those of us on the floor, bring your hand down. Great. And then those of us on the floor, we're going to switch legs. Those of you in the chair, you're going to turn the other way and switch legs for your lunge, okay? Inhale and exhale. Get ready to switch legs. On an exhale, pull the belly button in, step the opposite foot forward. Make sure those of us that are on the floor, the knee and ankle line up. Those of you that are in a chair, that your knee and ankle line up on your front leg. Roll the shoulders back. And those of us on the floor are going to walk our sternum up. Great job. Okay, so now we're going to do this a little differently. Everybody inhale your arms up, one hand or two hands. And then exhale to that goalpost or cactus position. Beautiful, awesome. Just keeping that open chest. And then if it feels okay to you, you can stay here or bring your hands behind you and hold on to your thumbs. You can keep your hands in the air, hold on to your thumbs. You're doing great. Reaching up through the tops of the ears. Kind of squeezing the shoulder blades a little and letting them slide down a little bit more. Great job. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to get ready to do that twist again. Inhale your arms out to like the sides. Exhale, those of you in a chair, turn your chest to the back of the chair. Those of us on the floor are going to turn towards our front bent knee and bring one hand down, one hand up. Those of you in the chair, you're just turning your chest toward the back of the chair. Just hold the position. Breathe, roll both of the shoulder blades back and down. Nice, good job. Firm the belly a little bit more. Wherever your heart is pointing, that's where your face is looking. If you're on the floor like me, don't let your forehead drop lower than your chin, okay? All right. Gorgeous. Inhale here, exhale, come back to center or bring your hand back to the floor to lunge if you're on the floor. So those of us on the floor need to get to standing, okay? So those of you in the chair, it's going to be easy. Those of you in the chair, come back to sitting in the front of your chair, just like we started. Those of us on the floor, we're going to tuck the back toes under and lift up the back knee and gently bring the back foot to the front foot. Maybe you have some blocks or a chair nearby. Awesome. Okay, everybody place your hands on your thighs. Everybody place your hands on your thighs, sit your tuchus back, and then when you're ready, pull your belly button in and stand up. Woo! Nice. Awesome. Okay, so as we do some standing postures today, those of you that have a chair might want the chair nearby. May want to have the chair, next to them to use for balance. Stand behind your chair, stand next to your chair, whatever works for you, okay? I'll put it over here so I can show modifications if needed, okay? So let's just stand at the head of our mat. Our feet are about hips width. So these are not my hips out here. This is my cushion. This is my stuff, right? Where are my hip bones? My hip bones are actually in here. So find your hip bones on the front of your hips. Find them, find them. Go right inside of them. That's hip width apart. That's how wide your feet should be. Does that make sense? Okay. Of course, you can have wider feet if you feel unstable, because wider feet are going to make you feel more stable. So you decide. Feet forward, not turned out, forward. Beautiful. Now, when we stand in mountain pose, it's not like this. So stand in mountain pose, your thighs press back. So go ahead and move your thighs back. That's going to move your whole hip line back, right? It's going to move the whole hip line back, and that's what you want. You want to feel everything strong through the butt, the back of the legs, and your heels. And then your shoulders, roll them back. And then lean them back a little bit so they line up with your hips. Yeah? Look straight forward and lift up through the top of your ears. Now soften a little bit. This is mountain pose, or what they call Tadasana in Sanskrit. And this is what it is, right? Just breathe. I sat with the mountain until only the mountain remained. Just see if you can let the front body relax against the strength of the back body. Feel most of the weight down into your heels. You can do this. Okay. Inhale, bring the hands to heart center. Exhale, we're going to sit back in chair pose. Again, if you're using a chair, you can have it next to you or in front of you. Inhale. Inhale, and as you exhale, chair pose. Good. Move the hips back. Move the hips back. Yep. You're going to feel the weight in the heels, and the toes are going to grip. Good. Make sure the belly is strong. Great. Awesome. And then we're going to come back up to standing. Inhale up. Exhale, hands down. Good. And then again, inhale up. Exhale, take a seat in the chair pose. Sit your hips back and firm your whole front waist. Not so much that your back rounds, but just firm the waist enough so you feel comfortable. Okay? And then let's inhale all the way up. And exhale down. Nice. One more time like this. Inhale up. And exhale, take a seat. Just sit. You don't have to sit too low. You just have to make sure that your back is comfortable. This is a back bend, so you're going to have a little arch in the back, but you got to firm the belly at the same time, okay? So there's a little more protection there for the back. Then when you're ready, inhale all the way up. And exhale. Woo! I know. That's a beautiful challenge. Okay. So standing in mountain pose, we're going to work on, I'm going to step back so you can see all of me. So we're just going to work on the side bending. Now you have an option. Inhale up and exhale one arm and inhale the other and exhale. Keep your thighs moving back. Keep standing tall up through the crown of your head, because very often we don't notice when our thighs come forward. That's horrible position for our spine, right? We don't want to do that. We want to keep the waist firm, front, back, and sides, and the thighs moving back just a bit. Exhale and inhale and exhale. Beautiful job. Okay, so those of you using a chair or anyone that needs assistance can be near a wall or near a chair, okay? So I'm going to turn side so you can see me. Mountain pose. Inhale here. Exhale. Step your right foot back. Now we want some space between your feet, and your back foot's going to turn a little bit, and that's okay. And your heart is going to face the front knee. Front knee and ankle line up. Good. Push back through the back heel. You may even make your feet wider if your legs are strong. It's up to you. Again, we want to hug the muscles of the front and back. Inhale those arms up. Nice. Just breathe here. Now, if it's comfortable, you have a chair or a wall nearby, I have my right leg back. I'm going to bring my right arm down and reach my left arm over. Nice. Very good. And then come back up with both arms. Now I'm going to lower my left arm and reach my right arm over. Woo! And maybe one more time each. Inhale and exhale. Keep everything lined up. Inhale and exhale. And inhale, both arms up. And exhale, hands down. Awesome job. Very good, very good. Okay. So now we're going to see if we can lower our hips a little bit. Just a little. So you might want to walk your front foot a little more forward. Inhale here. See if you can lower your hips a little. Good. We want the whole back to stay long. You can lift the hips up and then lower the hips down, but the back stays long, so we're not leaning forward. Okay, so again, lift the hips and then lower them, and then lift the hips and then lower and hold. Heart faces the front leg. Let's inhale those arms up. Nah, good. Bring the elbows to goalpost position so you can arch your back a little bit. Go ahead and arch back just a little bit. Lift your heart just a little bit. Push through that back heel, push through that back heel. Good job, everybody. You can always have one hand on a chair, be right next to your chair. And then inhale, arms up. Woo, and exhale them down. Ha, nice job. All right, so your feet are wide apart. So let's take them open. So I'm gonna open my feet across my mat. So those of you who have a chair, you can use the chair. You can put it in front of you this way. So you can reach the chair, right? Okay, so you have that option to use the chair. Some of us are going to be able to bring our hands to the floor. It just depends, okay? So wide stance, bend the knees, and move the hips back. And then bring your hands to the chair or to the floor. Good. So wherever your hands are is okay, but lift your tailbone up and bend your knees as much as you need to. Good. Now, slide your hips to the right, bending your right knee more and straightening your left leg more. Nice. Inhale your hips back to the center. Exhale your hips to the left, bending your left knee more and straightening your right leg more. Good. And just do that a few more times. Inhale to center, hips in the center. Exhale, hips slide to the right. Right knee bends. Inhale to center. Exhale, slide the hips to the left. Left knee bends. Awesome. Come back to the center position. Great job. Great job. Now, those of you in a chair, I'd like you to, those of you who have a chair, I want you to walk away from your chair and really stretch. Those of you on the floor, walk your hands way forward, like downward facing dog. Yeah. Good, good, good. So you either have your hands on the chair or you have your hands on the floor and you're walking them away from your legs. Push through the hands, reach the hips up. It's okay if your knees bend. Nice, nice long stretch. Great job. And then walk the hands back in. Maybe your hands are on the seat of the chair, maybe they're not. Walk your feet closer together. Hands on the thighs, everybody. And then when you're ready, push into your feet, lift your heart, come on up. Woo! Great job. Now, we have to do the warrior split leg position on the other leg, all right? Because we did one leg, now we have to do the other leg, all right? So I had my left leg forward and my right leg back before. So now you want to switch it. So now I'm going to have my right leg forward and my left leg back. So switch the forward leg, okay? Awesome. So you may be facing the other direction of the mat. Have your chair nearby. Your foot is at an angle, heel on the floor, and your feet are about hips width apart. So you're not on a tightrope. So put the other leg forward and the other leg back this time, okay? Heart faces the front. Awesome. Awesome. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful, nice. And again, inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Great job. Open the arms in the cactus or gold post position, opening up that heart. Good job. Release the elbows down. Be soft with your shoulders and your elbows. And then inhale here. Exhale, bring the hands behind you. Hold on to your thumb. And soften your shoulder blades down. Keep reaching up to the tops of the ears. Opening up the front of the chest and the front of the shoulders. Great job. Woohoo. And then inhale the arms up. and exhale them down. Great. So now we get to work on the hips. Remember like we did last time? The hips lift, the hips lower. When the hips lower, that front knee's going to bend. Hips lift, hips lower. If you want to use your arms, you can. Hips lift, hips lower. Hips lift, even if it's only an inch. Hips lower. Got it. Hips lift, hips lower. So find where you can lower the hips and you feel comfortable. You should not be leaning over your leg. Your torso should be tall. Front knees bent, not past the toes. This is warrior one position here. This is a great place to be. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, and then lift your heart up. Maybe you're near your chair and have one hand on the chair. That's okay, all right? So shoulders back, heart lifts. Wherever your heart is pointing, that's where your face is looking. Breathe, woohoo. Inhale here, exhale, bring the hands down. Good job. All righty, beautiful, beautiful. Now we're gonna step the back foot up to the front foot. Shake it out. Great job. All right, I'm gonna come to the floor pretty soon, but I'd like to do one more pose since you did been doing such a great job. So if you have a chair, you can definitely use your chair, all right? So go to the chair here in case you're someone that needs to use a chair. So standing up tall. So we're going to take the opposite foot back. This was the foot that was forward a minute ago. We're going to take it back, but not all the way back. Just part of the way back. So smaller, smaller. Not here, smaller, okay? And the toes kind of face forward. Both sets of toes face more forward. Hips face forward. Now with this, both legs straight, both knees straighten. Inhale up. And as you exhale, sweep the hands back and hinge. Nice, beautiful. If you have a chair, you can use the chair, okay? Or not, it's up to you. Push into your feet, firm your belly, inhale up. Beautiful. Now exhale the arms out to the sides and hinge. Good job, nice. Very good, very good. Nice firm belly, firm back, firm belly. Inhale all the way up, push into your feet. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, so now we're gonna switch legs. Switch legs. Okay, not too far apart. Both feet face more forward, okay? Here we go. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge, straightening both knees. Straighten both knees if you can, just the best that you can. Hug the belly in towards the spine. You can put your hands on a chair if you want, or out to the side, but you gotta hug the waist in to support a nice long spine. Good, if you have to bend your knees a little, that's okay. And then push into your feet, press your heart into your spine, inhale up, and exhale. So the key to this is to hinge at the hip with straight legs, okay? Let's try this again. Inhale up. Gorgeous. And sweep back. Nice. Good job. Both knees are straightened a little bit. The spine is long, the belly is firm, and maybe your hands are on your chair. It's up to you. Push into the feet, inhale up. So this time, we're going to take the arms out to the sides. Inhale here, and exhale, hinge. Nice. Reach your hips back, firm your belly in towards your spine. Good job, good job, good job. One hand on a chair if that's where you are, it's okay. Push into the feet, inhale up. And exhale, step up. Great job. So the next thing that we're gonna do is forward bend. Now, if you're using a chair, use the seat of the chair. So you have an option. Feet hips width, inhale up, exhale hinge, and release down the chair. Okay, so if you're using a chair, this is where you can be. Think about centering your hips over your ankles. If you're not using a chair, you bring your hands to the floor. Or if you have a pillow or some blankets or blocks, you can put your fingertips on the block. So either way, here or here. But I just want you to take a few breaths in your forward bend. And I want you to think in your forward bend, I want you to imagine that you are hugging your low belly up and into your pelvis. Tuck your low belly up and into your pelvis. Feel where you feel the stretching. So pull your low belly in when you do this. Notice where you feel the stretching. Breathe. Woo. Nice. So no matter where you are, those of us that are using the floor are going to come back down to all fours. So bend your knees, step your legs back, and come to all fours. Those of us using a chair, you're going to come back to sitting in your chair, okay? So those of you using a chair are going to come back to sitting in your chair, okay? Those of you on the floor, come on down. All right. And those of you on the floor, lie on your back. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to practice bringing our knees in towards our chest. So if you are sitting in a chair, you will bring one knee in and put it back down. One knee in and put it back down, okay? Those of us on the floor, we're going to bring one knee in and put it back down. And one knee in and put it back down. Good. And one knee in and put it back down. And one knee comes in towards your chest if you are seated, and then back down. If you are lying, knee comes in towards the chest. Now, those of us on the floor can bring both knees in towards our chest. Those of you in a chair, fold your chest over your thighs. Those of you in a chair, fold your chest over your thighs. There we go. Those of you on the floor can rock back and forth if you like. Yep, 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 yep. Woo. Nice, feels good, yeah? Good job, very good. Awesome, okay. So now you can place both feet on the floor. Okay, if you're lying down, if you're seated, sit up. So we're going to do butterfly or a Badakanasana. So those of you in a chair, you're going to widen your knees and bring the bottom of your feet together. Those of us on the floor, going to widen our knees and bring the bottom of our feet together. Some of you in a chair can put some blocks or a low cushion underneath your feet and bring the soles of your feet together, widen your knees out. It's called butterfly, right? But in the Sanskrit for yoga, it's called Badakanasana or bound angle pose. And just breathe here a few minutes. Just see if you can relax a little bit in the shape of the position. Those of you who are seated in a chair, you have to keep your spine long, but see if you can relax your knees a bit more. Those of us on the floor can let everything release a bit to gravity. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is a twist. So you're going to bring your knees together. Those of you that are on the floor, walk your feet wide apart. Walk your knees and your feet wide apart, feet on the floor. Wide apart knees, okay? I'll turn this way so you can see. Wide apart. And then you're going to bring the knees to one side and hold, and then to the other side. You got it. Beautiful windshield wipers. If you're in a chair, you can do the same thing. Feet wide apart. And center. And turn. Just make sure you turn your hips. And center. And turn. So That's how you do it in a chair, okay? Or you can do it on the floor, all right? Great job. And then once you've done a couple of them, take it to one side and hold. See if you can hold it on one side. Pull the belly button in just a little bit to feel the stretching. Hold it on one side. I know this is a challenging one, especially if you're on the floor. You're opening up the front of your hip and your thigh. You can feel that. It's a very important one for the psoas muscle. That's the muscle that helps you flex, that helps you sit, that helps you bring your knee up towards your chest. Very strong, that muscle, okay? Now you're going to switch to the other side. So bring the knees back to center and over to the other side and hold on the other side. Pulling the low belly in a bit so you can really feel the stretch on the front of that hip and thigh. It's really important to stretch the psoas. The psoas is extraordinarily important when it comes to being able to move, right? Being able to balance your torso over your hips and legs, right? It's a very big connecting piece. And it can be over tightened if you do a lot of sitting, a lot of hip flexion. So think about that when you've been sitting for a while. Stand up, push your thigh bones back, stand up tall, open up the psoas muscles on the front of the hips. Okay. And then when you're ready, bring those knees back up. Gorgeous. Walk the feet in. So if you're sitting in a chair, you're sitting in the forward position. We're going to bring our right knee in towards our chest, everybody. And then we're going to put the right foot over the left thigh. So you're making a number 4. Right foot and ankle over the top of the left thigh. Right knee widens to the right. I want you to magnetize that right ankle to that left thigh bone. Imagine you've got a magnet in your right ankle and your left thigh bone, and they're hugging each other. Spread the toes on the right foot. Those of you lying down, you can rock a little bit from side to side. Okay. Now you have a couple options here. You can stay right where you are because this is a challenging stretch. Okay. Again, keep the toes spreading, keep that foot active. Those of you in a chair, you can hinge forward over those legs. Those of us on the floor can lift the left foot up and hold behind the left thigh. Okay, so you have some options here to increase the stretch just a bit. All right. The point here is widening the right knee to the right. Yeah. Keeping the right foot flexed and the toes spreading. Because if we keep strength in the foot, then that keeps a nice line from ankle to knee to hip. So we don't skew any of these joints, right? Because our hips are tight, it can skew the connection of the ankle, knee to hip. So we want to keep the foot strong. Good. Just take a few breaths. You're doing great. And then you get to switch to the other side when you're ready. So sit up if you're in a chair. Bring your foot down and switch sides. Bring the left knee in, left foot and ankle over the top of the right thigh. Widen the left knee out to the left. Spread the toes on the left foot and flex it. And magnetize left ankle to right thigh bone. 2 magnets coming together. Nice. If you're on the floor, you can rock from side to side. It's a bit of a challenge, but you may feel the stretch. I think this is a nice in-between place between just sitting statically in the stretch and bringing the right foot off the floor. This is a nice in-between place, right? It just rocks the hips a bit. Feel the stretch a little bit more. And then those of you in the chair, you're going to fold your chest over your legs as much as feels comfortable. All right. Those of us on the floor are going to bring the foot off the floor. So if you're in the chair, fold over just a bit. Think about your back though. If you're in a chair and you're folding over, think about keeping the back long, the spine long. You're not curling over those legs. You're hinging over the legs. Can you feel the difference? So hinge over the legs, right? Right? Because those of us on the floor, our back is flat because of the floor, right? So when we do this stretch, I do not encourage this. I do not encourage that, okay? So if you're seated, I don't encourage it either. You would hinge from the hip, right? Keep widening the left knee to the left. You're doing great. You're doing good with time. It's beautiful. I like the orangey color scheme on my screen here. It's very festive. Okay. All right. Now, when you're ready, in a chair, those of you in a chair, sit up. And those of you on the floor, place that foot down. Woo, woo. All right. You can rock a little bit. Okay. So I'm just going to do, I think we'll do a little more twisting. So keep your feet about hips distance apart. Okay. Now, we're just going to twist our knees. So just take your knees to the right or the left. If you're in a chair, you turn your torso to the right or left, like we did in the beginning, right? So those of us on the floor are going to turn our legs and keep our heart facing the sky. Those in the chair are going to turn their heart and their torso to the side. Good, nice job. And then switch, all right? Knees back up or chest forward, and exhale, bringing both knees to the other side. Just nice, gentle twist. Gorgeous. Very good, very good. And then one more on each side. Inhale to center, exhale to the other side. Gorgeous. And inhale to side, exhale to the other side. Nice, very nice. And when you're ready, bring to center. Okay, so there's one more thing I'd like to do. For those of you on the floor, this is called fish pose. Those of you in a chair, it's a little bit different, okay? So if you're in the chair, you want to be more towards the front of the chair, just a bit. And if you're in the chair, you want to lengthen your legs out. Same thing if you're lying on the floor. Lengthen your legs out, heels down, toes up if you're on a chair. Those of us on the floor are going to lengthen our legs out. So what's going to happen here is those of us on the floor are going to prop ourselves up on our forearms, right? And lift our heart. And then maybe bring our hands under our tuchus. So tuck in, bring your hands under your tuchus, and lift your heart and stretch out. Those of you in a chair, stretch your legs out, roll your shoulders back, and hold on to the back of the chair. Open up the heart, lift the heart. Lift the heart, everybody. You look great. You don't have to just drop your head back. Wherever your heart is looking, that's where your face is pointing. I know it'll strengthen the neck. It will, it will. If you just don't drop the head back, keep the head just lifted enough. Nice. And then when you're ready, you can release that. Release that. Those of us on the floor, come on down, open up the, nice. And then we're going to do twists once again. So bend the knees, sit up tall if you're in a chair, bring your knees to one side. If you're in a chair, turn your heart. Good. And just do a twist a couple times. Center and side. You got it. Because after you do a back bend like fish, it's really nice to do twists. It kind of neutralizes the spine a bit, makes you feel better, okay? Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Gorgeous. And inhale and exhale. Nice. And inhale and exhale. Good job. And then come back up to center. Now you can do whatever feels good. Like those of you on the floor, you can bring your knees in toward your chest. That might feel really good on your back after that fish pose. Those of you in a chair, do whatever feels comfortable. You can, hug your thighs, lay your chest across your legs if that feels good. Or you can do some more twists, or you can do some side bends, whatever feels good if you're in the chair. Awesome. All right. So those of us on the floor, we're going to roll over onto our side and help ourselves up. Those of you in the chair, stay seated. All right. So we're just going to sit. Shavasana is done lying down on the ground. So if you'd all like to take a Shavasana, lying on your couch, on your floor, on your bed, I definitely recommend it. Right after class would be perfect. See you later, Rosemary. Right after class would be perfect for you to take some quiet time and rest in your body, because we've spent this last, almost 60 minutes together, getting to know our body, breathing and moving. And it's a really wonderful way to end a yoga practice by softening down into a resting state. It doesn't mean napping, because you're still aware of your body and how it feels, and maybe just focusing on your breathing in and out. or focusing on gratitude or whatever works for you, and trying to keep all those other thoughts at bay, stories, stressful stuff, just keep it at bay for a little while longer, okay? So that you can kind of relax, all right? Maybe just inhale and lengthen the exhale. So let's just practice that for a moment. So in your seated posture, roll the shoulders back, just relax. And this is a breath practice you can do if you're going to lay down and take Shavasana next, okay? Just inhale the breath and exhale. Let everything soften. Inhale and exhale. If you want to go lie down right now and start your Shavasana, go right ahead. Inhale and exhale. So now, kind of thinking of your natural breathing, inhale, and see if you can exhale just a little bit longer. Stretch it out just a little. You can even exhale through your mouth if you want. Lips pursed. Inhale. Exhale a little bit longer. You can count if you want. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever numbers work for you. Just practice this for a few minutes. Close your eyes. Inhale, see if you can exhale just a little bit longer than the inhale. If it's too stressful and you feel like you're forcing it, then just breathe naturally. Beautiful, nice. So I definitely recommend that you go ahead and take yourself to a position where you can lie down and be comfortable for a little rest, a little, constructive rest, or a little, rest with a bit of awareness on the movement of the breath, okay? Thank you for joining me for yoga practice. I appreciate you practicing with me, and I honor the divine teachers within all of you. May we all find peace, no matter what we are given. Namaste, my friends. Enjoy your Shavasana. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next week.